Hello everyone. How's everyone doing? Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. And who has New Year's plans? I don't. I hope everyone had a safe and healthy Christmas and a nice break from work. Hey Melissa. I'm just putting on a little bit of lip stain. I love lip stain because I can actually blow my nose and it doesn't come off. I guess when you have a long nose like me, I can't blow my nose without my lipstick coming off. I don't know if that's just my problem. Is it just my issue? Or do other people have that issue? I am going to shake up my foundation because it is a mineral foundation and it will separate when it is not in use. And you want to make sure that everything is cleared out of the dropper. That's kind of the rule with anything with a dropper. You always want to make sure the dropper is cleared out. I've already applied my daily sunscreen as well as my primer. Ta-da! And right now Unique has a lot of sales going on till the 31st. All of our skincare, which is considered the sunscreen, the moisturizer with sunscreen, on sale, 25% off. And then one thing that's really exciting is that our Sculpting Trio contour kit is 30% off. Maybe it's 50. Anyway, it's a good savings. It might be, let's say 30 because I don't want to say 50. Let's err on the side of caution. That is one of my sister's all-time favorite items. I've actually never tried it because I already have quite the supply of the beachfront bronzer, but it's basically the same thing, but you get a light, a dark, and you also get a highlight. And so that is on sale. So I'm just gonna give myself foundation box here, just spreading it around. So chime in, let me know, did you have a good holiday? Did you get anything good for Christmas? What was your favorite gift? Hi Ann, welcome. We did a very low-key Christmas on purpose, and that's kind of my style. Low-key. My husband and I traded a gift. The rest went to my stepdaughter. And she got a guitar, so we told her it was going to be a light Christmas since she was getting a big item like a guitar. But she still ended up getting more than I would have thought. Like, you know, you buy things and you forget about them. But mostly clothes, because my gosh, kids need clothes constantly. Like, she outgrows everything like every season. I mean, I knew kids grew like weeds, but I guess I just didn't ever realize when I was younger that you really outgrow everything every season pretty much. Of course, I always got hand-me-downs, but when you're an only child, you don't get a lot of hand-me-downs. Like my stepdaughter. So, she gets a lot of new clothing. So I'm just doing another light layer in my problem areas here where I need a little extra help to cover up some dark patches. And then I'm going to check in my really strong mirror here to make sure I got everything blended. Since I can't see so well. So we're just gonna call that good enough. So today I'm gonna show you guys how to do a maroon eye look. And I wore a shirt that has maroon and blue in it. And I think those are the colors I will be using today. So I'm gonna do contour now. And as I was saying, we have a 3-color contour kit that is on sale right now. And it's a very, very popular item. And I think it's 30% off. It might be 50, but I'm gonna say 30. I posted about it yesterday on my wall. And there's a link too. So if you see anything today you wanna try, there's a shopping link on my page, on my Facebook page. Hi James, welcome. So if you want to try any of my base face products to try to get a more flawless look on your skin, or if you like any of the eye products that I'm going to use today, you can just grab that link off of my Facebook page from yesterday. And I posted about the deals that we have going on right now. And I included a shopping link, because our links are only good for 10 days. So we always have to provide a shopping link. Alrighty. I'm going to go ahead and do my brows, and I absolutely love our brow pencil. If you've been in search of a pencil that really goes on nicely and cooperates, you can really control how heavy or how light it goes on, and it really stays put through the day. This is a great pencil. It doesn't clump up. And if you don't need anything that's warm with kind of the reddish tone in it, then you would want to get the medium pencil. This is the lightest pencil. And this is good for blondes or strawberry blondes. But if you don't like that golden reddish tone, then you would want to go for the medium because it's more taupey. And all orders this month are going to get put in my drawing. I do a drawing most months. I don't do it every single month, but I do it most months. I'd say I probably only missed 2 months, probably, maybe, where I did not do a drawing. But I usually do a drawing for all orders in the month. Alrighty. I say alrighty a lot. You don't realize what you say a lot until you play back a video and watch it. And then you're like, wow, I say that a lot. Alright, I'm going to put on a little Hottie Lip Plumper because my lips are feeling a little dry. And we do have Hottie Lip Plumper 50% off right now. We have 3 shades. And I happen to have 2 shades here. This color is very, very much like what I'm wearing right now. And then this color is just a tiny bit darker. And these are colored Hottie Lip Plumpers. I probably should have used this instead of the clear. But these are on sale. Can you see that the color there? This color is called Chandelle. These are named after actual presenters, unique presenters. And this one is a bit darker. And it is called, can't see, Holly Megan. So Holly Megan's the darkest. And then Chandelle is very similar to what I have on right now. It's kind of like a rosewood, more fleshy color, but it's I wouldn't really call it a nude. Not on me anyway. Maybe on somebody else. You'd have to get pretty nude to match my skin color. All right. I did not curl my lashes. Oh, I hate it when I forget to curl my lashes. I just don't like to take the time on video and have you guys sit through watching me curl my lashes. So let me know what your plans were for the holidays. Did anybody travel out of town? We did an up and back trip to my in-laws in one day. They live a couple hours away. And we didn't know who to watch our dog. And we got a dog thinking, oh, we have so many family members with dogs. It'll be awesome. We can take our dog and they can play. And it hasn't really worked out that way because most of the dogs in the family are older or they don't like other dogs. And our dog is pretty high energy. He's still considered a puppy. So it hasn't really worked out quite the way we thought it would. So we just put him in daycare for the day and went up and back. I'm gonna do some primer, and you always want to do an eyelid primer when you're gonna do like a real eye look with eyeshadow, and you want it to stay put all day. So you just need the tiniest little bit here, and I'm gonna warm this up. Anything that comes out of a tube like that, you want to make sure warm it up before you apply it, and then it will just glide on like silk. And so I'm going as high up as just right under my brows, and as low as just right where my eyelashes come out. And then whatever's left over, I usually just do underneath, just to help give my eyeliner staying power. Although our eyeliner doesn't go anywhere, but I do eyeshadow over top of it for a more smoky look. And so it just gives everything a little bit more staying power. All right, I am going to, while this is setting up, I'm going to talk about the colors I'm going to use today. I will use this discreet color as my base, which I always use because it's very close to my own skin tone. And when you're using a darker color like any of these, sometimes when you first put the brush on, it can leave a mark. It can just be, you know, and it's darker right where you touch your brush. So it's good to have a base color underneath, and then if you need to, you can buff that out and you have that base color underneath. So that's one reason to do that. It also can just help your other darker colors to glide a little better so they don't look spotty. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this discreet color. And you always wanna tap off your brush when you're using a light color like this. It's not quite as important to tap it off, but it's a really good habit to get into. Hello, welcome everyone. So let me know where you're watching from. Tell me how the weather is. It was rainy and gross here this morning in Cincinnati, but it's the sun's trying to come out. So you can see this color is barely noticeable, but the more I put on, the more you start seeing that peachy color just kind of come through a little bit. I love this when I'm going for a really natural look, but it's also great to wear under other colors. So this color is discreet, and that's this color right here. And I'm debating on which of these shades to use. I'm going to do a little bit of swatching here. So this color right there is called Fervent. It's one of my favorites. It can be pretty intimidating to use a color like that, but you just have to know how to do it the right way. And I'm gonna show you how. And then we have a cream shadow that is more of a brick red color. And this one is called Unapologetic. It's got a lot more fiery orange brick red in it. Whoa. And this is Unapologetic, which is another favorite. I really love that color too. But I think I could do either one with the top I'm wearing. Eek! Just scratched myself on my eyeshadow case. See, I gravitate to this because it's warmer. And with my top, I could really do either color. It's so hard to decide. I think I will, I feel like I use Unapologetic more. So I'm gonna start with Fervent and see where that gets us. Okay. So what you want to do, I already did my base color. I did my primer under that. So I'm going to start with a brush like this. This is a crease brush. The bristles are very tight and they're condensed. They're condensed and they're just in there, you know, they're really tight. Unlike this brush, which is a blending brush, where the bristles are longer, they have more flex in them, and they're not quite as tight and dense. So when I use this brush on a cut with a color, it's gonna go where I want it to go. It's gonna be very pinpointed to where I need it. If I use a brush like this, it's gonna be a lighter area look, and it's just gonna spread out a lot more. So I kind of think of this as more like a can of spray paint, and I look at this as more of a artist brush. Okay, and it just depends on the application that you're going for and the colors you're using and things like that. So I don't even put that on the whole brush. I'm just putting it on one side of the brush. I'm going to tap that off, and I'm going to start on my outer V here, and I'm just going to start bringing that in. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do my eyeliner. I'm getting ahead of the game here. I'm losing bristles. Okay, let's do some eyeliner real quick. I like to do a base eyeliner. It's just a habit I've gotten into. Even though I do more eyeliner later, I just like to have it under my eyeshadow. And I just get that as close as I can to my eyelashes. And I like to do that before I start putting on my eyeshadow. I just forgot. There we go. And if you can see how I have my pinky on my nose, I'm grounding my hand. You can also use the palm of your hand, and you want to ground your hand, and that way it's easier to keep your hand steady and draw a straight line, especially if you have shaky issues. Grounding is just a really good habit to get into. All right, now let's continue with the Fervent. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a little more of that, tap it off, and I'm just adding it on the outer corner here. You can see I'm getting that in one specific spot. And I'm just working that up a little bit past my crease now. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. And I'm working that up and out just past my crease. Hi Celeste, welcome. I'm going to pull that in a little bit more across my eyelid, really close to my lashes. And I don't really go past my pupil with this dark color. Just keep it on the outside. It's going to give the illusion that my eyes are further apart and that they're pulled up and out. And I'm just building this very lightly. And now I'm going to start bringing that color up and over, just above my crease. Again, I'm going pretty light, mainly focusing that color on the outside. Hi Paula, welcome. Just pulling that color up and over, very lightly. Hey Bobby, welcome. Thanks, Bobby. How was your holiday? Now that I've used this really dense brush and I've pretty much pinpointed that color right where I want it. You did yours the same way? That's crazy. Well, you know, we probably have similar coloring, so I can see where it would work out that way. So now I'm going to use a brush that is between this really dense short bristled brush and the blending brush. And this one, the bristles aren't as tight. They're a little bit longer, they're more loose, they're more splayed out, but not quite to the extent that this one is. And this is just going to have a little bit of a lighter touch. And I'm just going to take, I think I'm going to use this brown color and just warm it up a little bit because I need warmth on my face. So this color is called Astute, and it's a camel, beigey camel sort of color. And I'm just gonna put that on one side of my brush. Of course, I'm gonna tap that off, and I'm gonna start bringing that up and over just above my crease. So I'm bringing it up and over from where I left off with that fervent maroon color. And I'm just adding a little bit of warmth here. So I'm bringing it up and over, and it's just above my crease of my eye here. And this is kind of like dialing it in, where you kind of turn it one way or the other way, and it's right now this is just about achieving balance. And now since I've added this Astute color in, that fervent looks a little bit more drowned out, so I'm probably going to add that in a little bit again and get it a little bit darker than this Astute color. But before I do any of that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to buff it out. You always want to make sure that you're blending and buffing. You don't want to be too heavy-handed with your shadow. You want it to show up, but you don't want to go out looking like a clown at the same time. So this is just going to help buff everything out, make it look a little more natural, and blend those colors and see what we really are working with here. And then I can evaluate how much darker do I need to go on this fervent. And I just want it to show up as its own color. I don't want it to blend so much that I can't really tell that it's there, because the maroon is kind of my accent color. And again, I'm just bringing that in part way. I'm not even going halfway. And now I'm going to blend again. And I'm blending this outward color up and out. I want it to stay there, but I just want it to be blended. I don't want it to disappear too much. Okay. So now I'm going to focus on the movable part of my lid, and I'm going to use a blue color today. And I'm going to use one of our cream shadows, which is one of my all-time favorite colors. It's very robin egg blue. It has a lot of light behind it. It's a beautiful color. And if you're absolutely against using cream shadow, we do have one that's pretty close called Fancy. And that looks really, really bright. After I apply it, it tends to look a little bit more gray. But this amused color really, really keeps its vibrance. So you can kind of see the difference here. That does have more gray in it once you look at them side by side. So I love this color, and it's just one of my favorites. It just has so much brightness and light in it. And I'm just using my finger to tap it on. Just trying to match the two sides and make sure they're even in the color there. So I'm gonna tap this out a little more. And it just really adds a lot of light back in, a lot of brightness back. All right, so one thing I like to do too is whatever you do on the top, you want to do on the bottom. So I'm going to take this maroon, whatever's left on my brush, and I'm just going to go underneath here and drag that same color underneath my eye. I might need a little bit more on there. Just drawing this in closer, drawing it across my lid a little bit more. Again, I'm not going past my pupil, and I'm just also keeping it really close to my lash line. All right. I have this habit of not pulling my color far enough out. So I'm just pulling that out a little bit more. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna add some mascara now because lashes make everything look better, don't they? I am using Unique's Epic Waterproof Mascara. And I really, really love this mascara. It really holds my lashes where I need them to be, in the upward position, because my lashes are very droopy. They don't like to stay curled. But with this mascara, at the end of the day, they are still curled, and it's amazing. Absolutely amazing for me. And if you have lashes like me, you can appreciate what I'm saying. If you don't, you probably think, what's the big deal? But I would just spend so much time trying to get my lashes to curl and stay curled. It was ridiculous. But this waterproof really holds them very nicely. And I just remove it with coconut oil typically. And I think my lashes look longer since I've started using that coconut oil at night too. Unique does make a stick to remove makeup. We also have shine wipes, which are makeup removers too. But if you don't want to make the investment, then just use coconut oil. I use coconut oil, and then I'll typically use like makeup remover wipes after that. And I usually push up my lashes as they dry. I've kind of tried to get away from that habit. It is just a habit I have. It's like a compulsion. I feel like I have to do it because I've done it for so long. There were a couple of days where I forced myself to not do this, and I actually felt like maybe they held the curl nicer. But I can't help it. It's a compulsion. I just feel like I have to do this. I can't help it. Okay. Ugh, my back is really tight. Too much laying around. We have done a lot of laying around over the last several days, and not good for the back. I read that somebody said they were sick and now their back is out, and it's like, it's because we tend to lay around so much, and you know, on couches and things that we shouldn't be laying on, that maybe doesn't have the right support, or we think we're comfortable and we lay in a certain position and we don't realize things go numb, or you know, it wasn't really a good position for our backs in the long run. I am majorly guilty, but I'm very aware of how I lay. I have to lay on the floor. I am not a floor person at all, but I just can't lay on our couch and watch TV and relax. I have to just suck it up and lay on the floor, or else my back will be out. So I'm just trying to work on the balance here a little bit more, because I want this outer color to show up and kind of stand on its own. I'm not so much trying to get it to be darker per se. I just want it to show up a little more. And this is still the same shadow that was on the brush when I started. I haven't really dipped it back in at all. I'm just using what was on there. Okay, so if these top lashes feel dry, I'm gonna do some bottom. Hi Tracy, how are you? Hope you had a great Christmas, Tracy. Okay, I'm gonna do some blush. I'm gonna be using the color Spirited today. It looks kind of berry, but it has a lot of gold undertones, so it's not as berry as it would look, but it's the most berry-ish thing I have. And I'm just gonna lightly tap that on because these colors are very, very pigmented. So, tapping it on lightly, and I know it looks like I have a lot on there, but I'm gonna blend it and then it's gonna disappear. So I'm going a little heavy, and now I'm gonna blend it out. And I still need to do my concealer under my eyes too. But I do concealer last when I'm doing a darker eye look like this. Just want to make sure in case I get a little bit of fallout, which I don't think I really have much, if any. But it likes to fall right here on my little shelves. My hollows make these little shelves here. And any shadow that lands there can create even more of a deeper looking shelf. So I like to do the concealer last just to be sure. So anytime you use anything out of these tubes, you want to make sure that you warm it up in your fingers before you apply it. And I think I got a lot. That's a lot, more than I usually use. It only takes the slightest little bit, but some days my skin just drinks it in, and other days it feels like it just lays on top. And I think it has a lot to do with the amount of salt, caffeine, things like that. So I'm just lightly putting that underneath here. And then I just highlight the top part of my nose, and I'm blending that out with a different finger. And then whatever's left, I just put on veins or hyperpigmentation, just wherever I might need a little extra coverage. And I'm gonna use my magic wand just to make sure I've got that blended as close as I can to my eyelashes. And then it's nice and blended. I love this brush. It's awesome. And then another step, if your skin does feel a little dehydrated or like it's not really wanting to accept that makeup the way you want it to, then use a dampened beauty blender. Just I put it under water, or I have a cup here. I put it in the cup, and then I just squeeze all the moisture out, and then I just lightly press and roll. You don't want it too damp. You don't really want it to liquefy the makeup again. You just want to add a little bit of moisture back, and just it's going to help set it really nicely that way. Especially if you have any spots that are especially crepey or wrinkly. Like I have these spots where I have wrinkles that go this way and this way, so they're all kind of converging in one spot, and I don't really like it. But what are you gonna do? So I just like to really press it on that spot there and just try to give it as much help and moisture as I can. And the same with my lip over here. I've got some deeper crevices on that side and hyperpigmentation. So I just really make sure I press that moisture in there. And then if you just have any spots that have dried and you didn't really get to blend it the way you wanted to, this is a really great opportunity to use this and go back over it too and make sure that it got blended. Or if you have any dryness around your nostrils from maybe if you use anything with a retinol in it, that can happen. Okay, now it may seem counterintuitive, but after all that, I'm gonna use powder. And the powder is just gonna help set everything. And our powder, our Touch Behold setting powder, has light reflecting pigments in it, and it just really helps give a photo finished look to everything. It just blends all those imperfections out, and it just really gives a beautiful photo finished look, and it lays on top of those wrinkles. It doesn't really get down in there. And then I even like to use it on my eyelids just to get everything kind of blended so it doesn't look, you know, too crazy. It just kind of puts a little bit of a filter almost over it. And it helps set it. So it's a win-win-win. And see, now I feel like I need to do a little more blush. This is why I put it on so heavy to begin with. I feel like I look better with color under my eyes. So I just lightly tap whatever was on my brush from before. And I just like to put that under my eyes a little bit. And then go a little bit darker on the apples of my cheeks here. And I like to do a little bit across my nose, just to break up that long expanse that I have there. And you always want your neck and your face and your body to match. You want to look like this face belongs on this body. So if you're two different colors, you gotta work it out. You gotta make that face match the body. So if it means going lighter on your face, then do that. If it means going a little darker on the face, then you do that. Okay, I'm gonna do another coat of mascara. I'm gonna curl my lashes again before I do that because this side is really droopy. This side usually does droop more. I don't know if it's because I'm right-handed going across or if it's actually my eye droops more. I'm not sure, but curling that again and then applying mascara seems to help a lot. Where did I put my mascara? So if you have any scary colors, like you want to do a maroon eyeshadow or a bright orange or a burnt orange or any kind of color, purple, anything you find intimidating, just work it into your outer corner and just go up and over a little bit, not going past your pupil really, and then use another safer color to either add warmth or that coolness or whatever works with your skin tone. And then you put that on the main front part of your, right above your crease, and then you just blend those together. And then you can also bring that scary color underneath a little bit, and then just use other colors to balance that out. And just make sure you blend everything out and you'll be golden. Everything will turn out just right. And my final step that you all know is my absolute favorite step ever, is my Touch Behold setting spray. And I like to dip my beauty blender in my cup of water or get it under a faucet, whichever works for your setup. I'm squeezing it out. And so now this is wet, and I like to just take my setting spray and I spray it on there. It smells amazing, and then I just roll this on my face, and it's gonna help knock down any of that powdery residue that you may not want, and it's gonna add that little bit of a dewy glow back into your skin, and it's gonna look natural. It's not gonna look like, you know, luminescence, or, you know, sometimes when we get older, some people just don't look right with those highlights, you know, or luminizers or things like that. Like I have one that's so pretty, but it's so beautiful on, but my features are already pretty sharp. And when I put that on, I feel like I can look like I got in a fight. Like it can just illuminate a little too much. And there are other people that look beautiful. I wish I could do it like they do. So I rarely ever use any kind of a luminizer or a highlight on my face. But I love this because it's very natural. And it smells so good. But this really just sets your makeup, and it gives you that youthful dewy glow, that look like your skin is very elastic and bounces right back, which it does not, believe me. Especially if I were to pinch up here, it would just stay pinched. And then sometimes I even just spray it right on because it smells so amazing. I love that stuff. If they made this in a perfume, I would wear it. And I'm not a perfume person. But it just smells so good. I'm going to add a little bit of Hottie Lip Plumper over my lips again. And I'm going to be using this lighter of the two shades that I have. This one is called Chantel. These are named after actual presenters. And these are actually 50% off right now on our site until the 31st. So I just want to show you, this is so close to what I wear every day. Like you almost can't even see a difference. But this is a colored lip plumper. So it is like our Hottie Lip Plumper that I use every day, but it actually has color in it. And so that is on our site right now. And if you're interested in that or anything else that I covered here today, I actually put a link up on my Facebook wall showing all the stuff that we have on sale until the 31st, and there's a shopping link. And our shopping links are only good for like 10 days, and I put it up yesterday. So it'll definitely be good until the 31st or beyond. So if you're interested in anything that I used today, whether it be the base face or the mascara, the brows, any of the eyeshadows, anything, just drop me a line if you have any questions at all or want to know the names of colors or what I used. And check out those sales. Like I said at the top of the video, our Sculpting Trio, which is our contour that has a light, a medium, and a highlight, is on sale. I think it's 30% off until the 31st or until supplies last. And that comes in a light, a medium, and a dark trio. And so each one has 3 colors in it. I always use our Beachfront Bronzer, so I've actually never used the trio, but my sister does, and she loves it. There's a lot of people that absolutely love that trio. So it's a great time to get it. So I hope you all have a fabtabulously wonderful Friday, and I hope you have a great, I already said that, a great day. I hope the weather clears up wherever you are, and don't forget to give me some thumbs up, likes, whatever, because the Facebook algorithm loves that stuff. They eat it up. And I'll catch y'all later. Bye-bye.